Governor Sanwo-Olu describes Supreme Court's verdict reaffirming his election as a validation of resident position and victory for democracy. JAMB lots federal government of approve of fake universities certificates. On the foreign scene, United Kingdom moves to increase Ukraine's military aid support. In sport, Flamingo's head coach invites 35 players to camp ahead under-17 Women's World Cup qualifier. Now the details. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has described the verdict of the Supreme Court, reaffirming his re-election as governor of Lagos State as a revalidation of residents' position and a victory for democracy. Governor Sanwo-Olu said the judgment will allow his administration to accelerate various interventions in order to deliver more dividends of democracy in line with its Themes Plus developmental agenda. The appeal court had earlier affirmed the victory of Sanwo-Olu after the gubernatorial election petition tribunal had affirmed the victory at the poll. But the Supreme Court on Friday reaffirmed his re-election and delivered verdict in gubernatorial election dispute involving at least 8 sitting governors elected last March and sworn in on May 29, 2023. The Supreme Court also reaffirmed the election of Bala Mohammed of Bauchi, Basse Oti of Cross River, Francis Omofuru of Ebonyi, Alex Oti of Abia, Daudu Lawal of Zamfara, and reversed the decision of the Court of Appeal and Governorship Elections Petitions Tribunal, which sacked the governor Abba Yusuf of Kano and Caleb Mutswang of Plateau. Speaker of the Lagos State House of Assembly, Mudashiru Obasa, has congratulated Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu over Friday's judgment of the Supreme Court, affirming him as the winner of the 2023 gubernatorial election in Lagos. Obasa, in a congratulatory message issued by his Chief Press Secretary Eromosele Ebomele, said the judgment by the Supreme Court is a further affirmation that the All Progressives Congress APC has the support of Lagos residents, as reflected in the governorship and House of Assembly elections in 2023. Obasa said the victory is well-deserved as the Supreme Court has now proven the Election Petition Tribunal and the Appeal Court rights concerning their earlier rulings in favor of Governor Sanwo-Olu. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has expressed readiness of the state to take advantage of its strategic geographical position and robust infrastructure to become a central hub for cocoa processing and trade in Nigeria. Sanwo-Olu revealed this at the International Cocoa and Chocolate Forum 2024, held in Lagos and organized in partnership with the Nigerian Export and Import Bank and the Cocoa Research Institute of Nigeria. The governor, who was represented by the Commissioner for Commerce, Cooperatives, Trade and Investment, Folashade Ambrose Mediban, stated that Lagos is a trade hub for value addition and the ports in the state provide an excellent platform for exporting processed cocoa products to Africa and the world. According to the governor, transforming Nigeria's cocoa sector into a more value-added and prosperous industry requires collective effort and strategic partnerships in exploiting the potential of processing the crop into various products and derivatives for higher revenue generation, job creation, poverty alleviation, economic diversification, and development. Nigerians have been urged to be a solution-driven people instead of always complaining and criticizing leaders and policymakers. Lagos State Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu made the call at the dedicated Jumat service for the 2024 Armed Forces Remembrance Day held at the Lagos Secretariat Central Mosque, Alausa, Ikeja. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who was represented by his deputy, Abafemi Hamzat, urged them not to be afraid to make sacrifice, pray for those in leadership positions, and contribute effectively to the growth of the state and country. He charged well-meaning Nigerians to also look out for the widows and children of the fallen heroes who have paid the ultimate price in defending the state and country at large.
And in most cases, generate 50% of their households. Ours cannot be different. People in our society have assets but cannot be collateralized. So that woman, that man on the street that this is for is for.
Apologies for that mix-up there. In his message with reference from the Quran, chapter 22, verse 40, former Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, Lamido Sanusi, emphasized that Islam is a religion of peace, but makes room for the defense of one's life and territory in the face of an attack.
Live and who are ready to die so that we can all live. Would like to appreciate you, generals and other officers. Would like to thank you on behalf of Nigeria and pray for you that God protect you and protect our country.
Earlier, Commissioner for Home Affairs Ibrahim Layode reiterated the commitment of the Lagos state government to the welfare of the families of the fallen heroes, urging Lagosians to support the armed forces.
We also will keep on supporting widows of the fallen heroes, that supporting them, contributing to them, as giving them also a life after the death of their husband. I think it's something very welcome that we also can emulate to do.
Speaking on behalf of the armed forces, Air Officer Commanding Logistics Command, Nigeria Air Force, Abubakar Abdullahi, described the Remembrance Day as a day to honor those who gave their lives in service to their fatherland and commend those who are still in service to defend the country. Now to the rest of the stories. The registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, Ishaq Oloyede, has commended the moves by the federal government to investigate fake universities and certificates being awarded to Nigerians. Oloyede said though the state of education in the country was not good enough, but has been improving and would continue to improve. He assured that JAM would stabilize some of the innovations that were employed in the quality of work. Democracy has continued to falter in Nigeria because of poor leadership due to the fact that politicians are hardly democratically elected. Hence, the tendency to disregard the interest of the electorate is high. Professor of Philosophy in the National Open University of Nigeria, Godwin Sogolo, gave the submission at the first virtual seminar of the Nigerian Academy of Letters with the theme, The Impact of Democracy on the Lives of Nigerians. Sogolo, who noted that Nigerians are rooted in an authoritarian culture tied to their traditional attitude of leadership and respect for elders, listed the obstacles against the actualization of the ideals of democracy as inequality, ignorance, differentials in material endowment, indifference, among others. According to him, though the deficit of democracy in Nigeria are many, there are positives to celebrate, such as freedom from military rule and arbitrary laws and policies, freedom of elect leaders through the electoral process. However, imperfect it may be, freedom of speech and association, the rule of law, and the greater observance of human rights. In foreign news now, the United Kingdom has announced that it will provide £2.5 billion of military aid to Ukraine over the coming year. British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak said it is Britain's largest annual commitment since Russia's invasion. The PM made the announcement as he met Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky in Kyiv and signed a new agreement supporting Ukraine's long-term security. Officials said the package will provide Ukraine with long-range missile, air defense, and artillery shells. In sport now, Flamingo's head coach Bankole Olowokere has called 35 players to camp ahead of their 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifying fixture against their counterparts from the Central African Republic. The list is composed of 5 goalkeepers, 9 defenders, 7 midfielders, and 14 forwards. The first leg of the qualifiers is scheduled for the weekend of 2nd to 4th February in Bangui, with the return leg to take place at the MKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, on Saturday, 10th February. This year's FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup will be staged in the Dominican Republic from October 16 to November 3. That's it on the news at 6, but just before we go, slow down at road junctions, intersections, and pedestrian crossings. You can follow us and like all our various social media platforms. X, formerly Twitter, Lagos Traffic 961, Instagram, Lagos Traffic Radio 961. Watch us live on Facebook, Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. On YouTube, subscribe and watch all our previous programs and news on our channel, Traffic Radio 961. Did you know that the Sanwo-Olu administration constructed 4,000 flats for the staff of Lagos State University last year? You can get more details on the Lagos State Government website. To end the news, here are the highlights of the major stories. Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has described the verdict of the Supreme Court, reaffirming his re-election as governor of Lagos State as a revalidation of residence position and victory for democracy. The Registrar of the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, Ishaq Oloyede, has commended the moves by the federal government to investigate fake universities and certificates being awarded to Nigerians. We also told you that the United Kingdom has announced that it will provide £2.5 billion to military aid to Ukraine over the coming year. In sport, Flamingo's head coach Bankole Olowokere has called 35 players to camp ahead of their 2024 FIFA Under-17 Women's World Cup qualifying fixture against their counterpart from the Central African Republic. For contact with the newsroom, send a message to Lagos Traffic Radio at lagosstate.gov.ng. That ends the news broadcast compiled by Zainab Adebeshi. I am Taiwo Baruwa. Thank you for listening. Good evening.